And it takes the muscles of the back a moment to readjust to laying down. So just have patience for all the time it takes, especially allowing the lungs to become full, because filling up the lungs does affect the muscles. I was just chatting with somebody, and there's this book that I read recently where there was this person who had like a sideways 90-degree curvature, and the doctors had given up on her. But she would do these like different exercises throughout the day where she would just kind of lean up against a table and just breathe. And the act of breathing helped her bones and muscles, helped her muscles to strengthen, and then that helped her bones to realign. And so there's so much power to just giving space for huge breaths to flow through our body. So keep that flowing, getting our body excited and ready and energized for the class to come. I always like to connect with an intention. And so our intention today is the idea of the contrast between holding on, kind of binding to things, and releasing, just letting it go. And our breath is a really good symbolism of this. You can't hold on to an inhale for forever. Eventually you have to let it go. A kindergartner, even though they love their teacher so much, they can't hold on to that kindergarten teacher for forever. They have to eventually let them go, or they'll hold their own progress back. And so just think of that kind of metaphorically in our life. Is there anything that we're holding on to that maybe it's time to let go? Or maybe the opposite. Maybe it's time to bind ourselves to someone or something, letting them be a teacher for a little while until the time passes. And so it's this fun contrast we have our whole life. Breathing in, we bind. Exhale, we let it go. And so there will be different things that we do today that include whether binding like twists and wraps and stuff, fun things like that. And even just the action of contracting our muscles in repetitive motions is bringing our muscles to a bound position and then to a relaxed or long position. So this whole sequence, our whole life is that pattern over and over. And so with that idea in the back of our mind to kind of lead us toward personal inspiration today, let's begin to take our knees into the chest. And as they're there, let's be super kind, super easy with our spine while we're getting started. Knees are welcome to just rock left and right, or maybe do some nice little circles, just whatever feels helpful. And keep that breath flowing again, especially on the restful moments of class today. That breath is the biggest thing we can do. Just help the muscles and the chest and the lungs to get super expansive. Good. So from this spot, we're ready to take on our first thing today, starting up with some muscles that connect closer toward the bottom of the rib cage, those muscles that connect right up to that spot. Let's let legs go straight up to sky. Arms float up to the sky like a zombie. And with our exhales, we're going to try to touch as close as we can toward toes. And then inhale, just relax back down. So it doesn't have to be a speed process, but you obviously can always go a little bit faster than me if needed. We include our breath in the poses. Exhale, and then inhale when we relax. That helps our muscles to be able to build in the leanest way possible. Always know in my classes you can take breaks if you need them before I take them. You can modify if needed. You always have permission, just listen to your body. If you're doing okay, let's take another count of 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I love that little bit of burn we get. So now let's go into a nice little stretch for right leg. Clasp hands around right thigh and then drop left leg all the way to the floor. So we're giving our breath a chance to go deep. while we're taking this brief stretch right. Allow left leg to travel up, hands clasp around it, drop right leg down. Same type of stretch on this side. Muscle fibers trying to get longer, and or arms trying to use their strength to pull this leg in. Two more breaths on this leg. And allow right leg to hover right above the ground. Exhale, we switch. Right leg is in our arms. Exhale, switch. Just keep on going back and forth. This one is good strengthening, more like the hip area, the psoas especially. If you ever need to make it easier, don't go quite so far down. That'll make that step quite a bit easier on you. But full cycle would be the hardest if you're doing okay. Here's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, we're almost there, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Amazing work. Allow yourself to plant the feet together. Let the knees open out wide like a cobbler's pose. Just give those hips a moment to have a break here. You could just release passively, both knees just flopping open, or you could have just a slight bit of rocking in the hips. So maybe one knee lifts up a little bit and you push the other knee down, and then you switch. Just whatever easy things help us to really get nicely into this area. Some of those spots that have been working just now. Good work. So feet plant, knees come upward. And so from this spot, we're going to take our bridge pose a couple of times. Hands are on the floor by the hips. Keep the knees in line with the hips also. We're not knocking them in. We're not splaying them out. We're keeping just a little bit of inner thigh activation. So when we roll our hips up, one vertebrae at a time lifts, those inner thighs are not splayed still. They're nice and squeezed to be in line. Good. Let's use our exhales to roll down. Just create that sequence a couple of times, strengthening our back muscles. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, roll down. As much as you can, try to feel really one vertebrae touch, and then the next, and then the next. Take another 3 if we're doing okay. Two. And this third one, let's try to stay just a little bit longer. From here, holding the hips in that high spot, let's let heels lift and heels lower. Repeating that a few times. Here's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, amazing work, 1. Roll the hips to the earth. Amazing, let's stretch those glutes out a little bit. So take the right ankle up to left thigh and hug around it. You feel that right hip open. The hip attaches to the glute, and so depending on how tight your glute is, you may feel just a little bit of opening through that area too. It's almost like there's one spot that's the deepest. It's like I could put my finger right at the outside of the hip. But if you feel some of those subtle other muscles getting lengthened, that's what we're trying to get into also. And so this helps us to feel that contrast. A moment ago, all the contraction of all these muscles that led to the burn, that really good burn we try to look for when we're getting stronger. And that's that contrast now with lengthening those areas. Let's take one more good inhale. Exhale, release both legs straight up to sky. Let them open out wide for a moment. That kind of resets those muscles. And when they come back inward, take left ankle to right thigh and do that same type of hug. Enjoying another breath in. Then exhale, release hands, legs up to sky. Let them open out wide. It would be easiest here to have hands down, but we're gonna go for a little challenge today. Arms are gonna reach toward that back wall above our head. And so from here, we're gonna create a little sequence. Take an inhale to prep. Exhale, reach your arms through the triangle of your legs. Inhale, arms return. Next, exhale, legs squeeze together. Inhale, legs open. Exhale, reach through. Inhale, return. Exhale, squeeze legs. Inhale, return. Exhale, reach. So alternating back and forth between upper body and lower body. Let's go for another 5 cycles if we're doing okay. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, and then when the legs go wide again, let the hands rest on the insides of the knees. The knees can bend since they're a little fatigued. And just let those inner thighs kind of be weighed down by the weight of the arms. As we're here, feel that heart pumping. It's very alive in our chest. One of the good things about exercising is it makes that heart come alive and it makes those blood vessels dilate, which means that some of the stuck tissue, like the white blood cells that kind of sticks itself to the outside of the vessels, suddenly it's wiggled loose, and so our immune system is actually boosted by being here. We're working on our heart, working on our strength. Feel that heart alive, so grateful that every single heartbeat, it's releasing and binding. We just back and forth. Okay, so now when knees come back together, take the knees out into a nice 45-degree angle. Arms open out to left and right to ground the upper body. What we'll start to do is tilt our knees partway to one side. A nice exhale to bring us back. Inhale, partway to one side. Exhale, that exhale squeezes us to return. Starting to feel those oblique muscles, an important part of our core. And if you want to increase the challenge, when you tilt partway to one side, also include a chance to extend and bend the legs, and then return. Tilt, extend, bend, return. Tilt, extend, bend, return, and repeat. Amazing work. If you're still doing okay, let's take 3 more each side. And last one each. Good. When knees are back in, let's let them fall over to the left. Just a simple spinal twist. So some of those muscles of the back, just a little bit more willing to be stretched, especially since the body temperature is continuing to slowly increase. And notice just that awesome sensation of breathing into the belly. Let's take another good inhale. Exhale, knees come up. And let's take that nice twist to the other side, balancing out our body. Remember, you're not forcing anything, you're just allowing that breath to flow. Okay, when knees rise back up, let's take our hands around the right knee. Left leg extends out. This is another point where you choose the difficulty. Higher is easier, lower is harder. And then exhale, switch your hands to the other knee. It's so nice because with the leg going out, we feel it not only working our muscles, but also pulling a little bit, getting us long, good lean muscles. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And plant the feet down close to the glutes. We're gonna grab onto our elbows, let the arms rise up above head. That pulls the abdominal muscles into a slight stretch. So just let those ribs splay open. It's a nice, gentle little arch. Okay. So this next pose, some people can go all the way up, like I'm gonna demonstrate. Some people, it's much closer to shoulder staying on the ground. So don't feel like you're good, bad, right, wrong, based on your ability. Just do what you can do, and that's awesome. We're gonna take our knees and glue them together, and then just our right leg extends out. So from here, arms sweep up overhead, inhale. Exhale, flap the wings down and try to lift up as much of your back off the ground as you can. So again, it's okay if you're a lot lower, and then return. Good, so we're gonna repeat that. Let's take another 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Amazing work. Take this right thigh and cross it tightly over the left thigh. Once you've got that wrap, take the thighs into the chest. We're either grabbing on close to the knees, or if you can take ankles, try to grab onto each ankle. Perfect. And just give that heart a chance to just catch back up with us. Huge, slow breaths. Easy in, easy out. Hands release. Let's let both knees fall over to a nice little twist back over to the left. This one's one where you don't have to feel like anything has to touch the ground. Just getting the knees to tilt a little bit is really helpful to open up outer thigh, outer IT band area. So we're not forceful, we're just opening up whatever's willing to go. Okay, hip back down, bring the feet about as wide as the mat. We'll do a few windshield wipers, both knees going left, both knees going right. Just feeling how that opens up and kind of reintegrates some of those muscles that worked, a bit overstretched. Just kind of bringing it all back to a usable place. Good, and then bring the feet right back in line with hips. Knees fall into one another. This time, left leg extends out. So, trying to lift the best that we can. Sweep arms up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, rise up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We got one more. Tight cross over, left thigh over. Thighs come in, grab onto knees or onto ankles if you can reach them. Breath in. Nice exhale. Start to let the knees fall over to the right this time. The heart kind of resetting. It's in a good calm spot again. Almost like that's like the calm before the storm. We're about to go into more. Almost like we're tornado watchers. Taking a good inhale. Exhale, start to return the hips down. Once again, take feet about as wide as mat and just do a few more windshield wipers. Okay, from here, the next couple of segments of class will lead us into different positions. So I like to oftentimes start with the majority of class on our back because there's so much good work we can do for the whole core. So for the next little thing, we're going to be on our side, roll over to whichever side helps you see me the easiest. And I'm just going to use the words up and down instead of left and right because it'll be different for some of us. So bring the legs slightly forward so it's more like a banana shape. That helps to have a good place where the core can really be used. So the first thing, top thigh rotates up, just as however much that knee can rotate. And then with our exhale, we'll do a quick kick up to the sky. Inhale, slow, lower down. Going for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Amazing work. Take the top foot and plant it in front of the other. So this next thing we're gonna do, the bottom leg tries to lift up as much as it can and then lowers back down. So 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, and then work your elbow underneath your shoulder. That bottom foot, instead of being in the banana, it's slid back in line with us. We're gonna try to lift this bottom hip up and down. So maybe going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now sitting down, this leg that was bent, keep it bent in front of us. The other leg can be bent or straight, whatever's working. Just cradle out that leg for a moment, rocking the hip out. It's nice, good stretches right there. From here, plant the other foot so that you've got some thigh to rest onto. Once it's there, you can choose what to do to help yourself out. So you could be pushing that thigh open. You could be sliding the bottom foot closer. Occasionally I'll do a full hug around it, but don't feel like you have to. It's wherever you feel a good stretch. Nice inhale. Exhale. The bottom leg swivels out to the side, so it's like a shin stack. If your knees can handle this, try to get that right foot a little bit, or sorry, the left foot, sorry, whatever top foot is for you. I forgot we're doing top and bottom. Whatever your top foot is, get it closer to that hip. And then the same side arm as that top leg comes around your back to try to clasp around the big toe. You got it. Some people can't make it, so just leave that hand by the hip if not. And what we're gonna do is spiral in whichever direction we're in. So the back shoulder continues to pull back. Maybe even your front hand is helping to push on your front thigh to help you out. Nice and easy. This is an example of a bind. We'll include just a couple more throughout our class. Good. So as we return forward, you can either leave the leg exactly where it is or drop it down to simple cross leg. Either way, find the fingers on the floor and just inch forward so that the spine gets a good stretch. So nice inhale. Exhale, let's come back up. We're gonna swing our feet to what was where our head was. So that way we're still facing into the center and we've just got our feet to the other direction. Yep, that'll work. Okay, banana shape, so legs are slightly forward. I usually like to start off with my shoulder on the ground so that I'm just kind of supporting my head. Yep, beautiful. Top thigh rotates up as much as that knee can. And then with our quick kick, we exhale leg up and then slow lower down inhale. So when you're ready, here's 10 and down. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. And now this top leg is the one that plants in front of the other. Let's take another breath or so, just a little break. Okay, so our bottom leg now is the one that lifts up and down. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Amazing. Let it rest for a moment. And start to work the elbow under the shoulder. Our other hand is just planted to help us out. Slide the leg to be back in line rather than banana shape. And when you're ready, we're lifting the hips up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last 1. Good, rest. We're sitting. The leg that was just bent, keep it bent, cradle it out. Dropping that hip a couple of times. the other foot plants so that we can rest the ankle down. Do whatever you need to do to fill that hip open. I almost wanted to say right or left again. It's like not quite true for everybody. Nice inhale. Exhale, dropping the bottom leg down. The top foot tries to scoot closer to the hip. Same side arm as that top leg. Circles around your back. Try to see if you can grab the toe or not. It's okay if not. Just keep the hand like kind of wrapping by the hip. If so, continue to spiral the spine. So the shoulder that's getting pulled back, continue to spiral it back. The other hand helps the front half. Especially just feel that shoulder opening. You don't always pull the shoulder open like that, but it's so helpful for some of the tightness we get on the front of our chest, especially if our posture tends to be collapsed a lot. That makes those muscles shorter. Good, let's return forward. You can leave the leg, you could drop it down. Either way, let's find the floor and ease our way forward. One more good inhale. Exhale, let's return. Let's take our knees underneath us. Do a couple of cat cows, just making sure that the muscles in the back are feeling good. So round up and down. Do one more set. Awesome. So this next thing is a good glute strengthener. I did this last week, just 10 reps on each leg, and the next day my glutes were killing me. So I'm curious to hear if this gets you guys too, but I'd love to hear. So what we're doing is taking our right leg behind us, the foot stacked above the knee, and then we're just gonna pump up and down, going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Second leg. Here's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest it down. Let the hips wag left and right just for a moment. Helping those glutes make sure that they can continue with where we're headed. Good. Spine back to neutral. Take the right leg and take it straight back and left arm forward. So sometimes doing this is kind of wobbly. We are using our core to try to be in balance. If your balance is good enough, maybe take 5 cycles, elbow and knee down underneath, and then straighten back out. Here's 4, 3, 2, 1. Either stay straight just a moment longer or try to take the hand and foot behind you. If you find the clasp, try to push the foot up to a little back bend. Straighten back out to the long line and drop down. Second side, leg is left, arm is right. Maybe stay or take 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. stay or hand clasp. Pushing it up if you can. And release back to the long line. Drop down. Gonna take a nice little cat. Nice cow. Good. We're going to go to either plank or elbow plank and do little pulses. It's almost like a mini push-up. I know push-ups are hard for me. If you can do full push-ups, you're welcome to do that instead. But take either way and just let the elbows bend a little bit, even just an inch or two. Try to squeeze it in rather than out and press it back up. So let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Try to slowly lower yourself all the way down to the ground. Good. Bring the arms by the sides. Thumbs trying to point outwards. And so with our inhales, try to give a thumbs up, lifting the thumb and the shoulders and the legs, and then exhales, drop everything back down. Good. So let's take a 10. Try to lift higher, 9. It's almost like each time we get another millimeter higher. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, hands underneath shoulders. Take a child's pose. Let those muscles at the back especially be so long. Such a nice little break for a moment. Okay, we're heading into our last couple of things. These will include some standing things, especially leading up to a little bind like I promised, at least a bind prep. And so let's go with a nice downward facing dog. Feel the leg stretch, feel the back stretch, shoulders, all sorts of good things, lifting up high. We'll give it a good 2 or 3 breaths to be here. And then let's go with left leg today. Left leg floats up to the sky. Take it into plank, left knee to nose. Holding there, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then try to step left foot in between hands and chin it forward if you didn't quite make it. Keep the back heel lifted like it is as we start to walk our way up, upright. And what we're gonna do is first, let the back knee have a little bit of bend and straighten. Arms are just doing whatever helps us balance. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now back heel rotates down. It's like a warrior 2. Take your front arm forward. Your other arm is like you're pulling the bowstring back. And what we're going to do for this one is bring that arm forward as we kind of like bend the front knee more, inch just a little bit forward and pull it back. So a little bit straighter and pull it forward, bend and straighter. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Full warrior 2, bend knee, front elbow rest on the front thigh. This right arm comes around our low back. Try to inch those right fingers into the left hip crease. So walking them as far as they can. This is a nice bind prep. You don't have to go any further than this. Keep that top shoulder rotating open. That's the stretch we're trying to feel here. If you want to go to full bind, you would need to be able to drop left arm down and then take that left arm under the thigh to clasp hands together. Either way, if you're going the full way there, remember to rotate shoulders open, just like we did in the prep. Otherwise, we're not really there. Good. Good, wherever we're at, let's take another inhale. Exhale, release, warrior two. And then turn your toes to this long edge of the mat and take a nice wide angle forward fold before our second side. Legs stretching, shoulders relaxing. Good. Walk our way up to the top of the mat. Step the front foot back. Downward facing dog. This time, right leg floats up to sky. Take the knee to the nose and hold in plank. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Try to step it. If you don't make it the full way there, inch it even further forward. Back heel stays lifted at first. Try to find your balance, rising up. Good. Back knee is gonna bend and straighten. Maybe this time we do some arm circles as well. So here's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back heel down, warrior two. Take the bowstring as you pull it back, front leg straightens a little bit, and bring that string forward. Here's 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, awesome, 4, lots of warmth, 3, 2, last 1, amazing. Open warrior two, then front elbow rest on front thigh. This left arm comes around our low back, trying to aim fingers into that hip crease. And then top shoulder rotates open. Yep, if you're going for bind, drop the right hand down. Maybe right hand under thigh to find the clasp. Either way, remember shoulders rotate open. Inhale. Exhale, release. A brief warrior two. Turning the toes to this long edge. Maybe let's take a hand clasp as we go down this time. Allowing arms to stretch up and away. Good. Hands to floor. We're gonna either come up to the top of the mat to come down or just go straight to kneeling from here and then lower down to sit. We'll wrap up just a few final stretches for our body to make sure the body's feeling not only strong, but also longer and stretched. So let's face forward. Let's take our right leg straight out in front of us. Reach the arms up to the sky, inhale. Exhale, let's stretch forward. Rising up, switch up to the other leg. Inhale, Nice exhale. Enjoy this leg as well. And rising up, cobbler's pose. You're welcome to leave hands behind if that feels best for the hips, or you can lean forward. Rising up, your choice based on what needs it most, either legs working more or less straight in front or wide. Whatever feels like your body would appreciate the most. A couple of breaths to just relax that. Good. Rising up. Make sure there's enough space on the back of the mat. Whether you have bent knees and you're grabbing on the thighs to help you, or straight legs trying to roll down, either way, we're trying to make it as slow as possible, trying to get one vertebrae, and then the next, and then the next. Super, super, super slow and controlled. Whenever you make your way down, take any last stretches your body wants. Maybe you want to just hug the knees in for a moment. Maybe you want to twist. Maybe happy baby, grabbing for your feet. Just whatever feels good to kind of help the body wrap up any of those tight things, kind of coming back to a better, more complete spot. Literally take as much time as you want to make sure the body feels really good. You could continue stretches for another minute or two if needed. At some point, sooner or later, you'll feel pretty good in your body. At that point, you'll find Shavasana, that nice restful pose, usually laying on your back, but you could let your knees fall into one another. You could even take another variation, like legs up the wall. Whatever helps your body to feel comfortable and peaceful. When we're ready to get there, that's the spot that we'll find. And as we're just breathing here, notice how the breath is helping to include this intention that we've played with, the intention of binding and release. So just play with that inhale, that beautiful depth, and letting that wonderful long exhale lead us toward an ever increasing state of depth, and peace and relaxation. And in that way, this journey, this breath, this cycle that we have carrying us through our whole life is also leading us toward this powerful meditative state that we get to rest in for the next few minutes. So just let that breath begin to deepen and let it guide you. Slowly winding our way out, begin to deep inhales. And exhales. Introduce little movements back to the body, fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching out in good ways. Feel awesome to our body. If you feel ready for next fetal position, maybe take a good 3 or 4 breaths until you feel ready to rise sooner or later. Whenever we arise, sooner or later, we'll join hands at the heart. Just imagine hands touching together is like that idea. We're neither binding, trying to clasp for anything, nor are we completely releasing anything. We're right there balanced in the middle. And so let's try to see as we head into the rest of this day, let's see if there's areas in our life that need more binding and areas that need more releasing. And in this way, we're able to find this perfect balance between the two. Because it would be kind of silly to just walk around with life, you bound your leg and you just try to hop around like that all the time. It'd be silly. So kind of like that, trying to just find this perfect balance. So with this idea to lead us on, let's wrap up the time we shared together today with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. Om. May we be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.